everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Kathy Jarvis, and today we're going to get busy on some of the things that we needed to get done, and I haven't had a chance to get around to it. Usually I have all this done before Thanksgiving, but there's been some issues going on and I haven't had a chance to get them all done. So today we're going to work on weeding and getting cleaning up the 25 flower gardens. The herb garden, shade garden, is already winterized. The main garden is winterized as much as it can be. The only thing I got left is strawberries, and some years I don't do anything to them, and some years I throw some straw on them. Depends on how cold we get. If it gets really, really cold, I'll throw straw on them, and then I'll pull the straw off when it warms up again. I'll show you what I've done so far. It's been too windy to actually go out and film, so I did all the work, and now I'm going to show you the results. I worked on this little flower garden, entry garden, and we took the I took the hostas and clipped them back because they had died back. The astilbes had died back. I cleaned up underneath the yucca, and this Rose of Sharon was really out of control. It had rotted, and so we cut it off at the base there and left the twigs coming up. So hopefully those twigs will grow and we'll have a nice little Rose of Sharon here. On this side, I did the same thing. I took the astilbes and trimmed them back, cleaned up underneath the yucca plant. And the big Rose of Sharon, I trimmed off all the leaves that were, not leaves, the branches that were overhanging onto the sidewalk. And I took out the branches that were rubbing each other and crisscrossing. And I took out the ones that were hitting the house. So we got that done. The little iris garden here, I got it cleaned up. Now with irises, you do not cut them to the ground. You cut them so they're about maybe 5-6 inches above, and you remove all the dead leaves and off of them. And a lot of you notice are pretty close to the ground because that's the way the dead leaves left them. They do not like to be covered in the winter, so this garden is completely done. I had some glads that I dug up. On this garden, same thing, cleaned out the yuccas underneath of them, took out the trimmed up the daylilies and took all the dead leaves off of them, and took all the dead leaves off the pineys and trimmed them back to where they were, to the ground. And this garden is basically done. I've got a climbing rose there. I will trim that once it goes dormant, but it's still got leaves on it, and if I trim it now, it'll just try to put out new growth, and that I don't want. Out in the main garden area, there was a gladiolus garden, and I dug all those up. And that just leaves, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I got 7 of the gardens cleaned up. So it just leaves a few more yet to finish. Let's go back inside and I'll show you what we did with the glads. Alright, there are the gladiolus. When you cut them off, pull them up, you cut them off so you leave about 1 inch to 2 inches on the of green stem onto the bulb. You do not wash them. You basically, what I'll do is I'll leave these dry a little bit and knock off the loose soil, and then I'll lay them out on paper and leave them dry for 2 weeks. Preferably in the sun during the day, and bring them in at night because you do not want them to freeze. And then once they're well dried, we discard any of the dead ones, diseased ones, cut ones, or If you want to, you can even get rid of the little ones. If you'll notice, some of these have little corns on the side of them. These are actually new gladiolus bulbs. And you can save them and you can plant them. And each year they'll get a little bit bigger. And about 3 years they'll bloom. So now we're going to shake some dirt off of them and I'll be right back. Okay, I have all the dirt shook off of them. You want to make sure you don't take the husk off of them. And you will leave these set in the sun for 1 to 2 days to dry out. And then I'll place them in a nice warm area, about 80 to 85 degree area, for about 2 weeks so that they can finish drying before I store them away. And I'll store them in a paper bag or a cardboard box with paper towels in between them, and in an area that's about 35 to 45 degrees. Usually I put them in the garage. It doesn't freeze over there and it stays fairly cool. And then I'll replant them again this spring. So that is how I take care of my glads. Then you notice I had quite a bit of dirt off of them. I will take that back and put into the gladiolus garden, and that way I don't waste any soil. So I hope you learned something, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Remember, if you did, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you know what I'm going to be on next. And in the meantime, remember to dream big. Bye.